Right guys, hi everyone, just a quick ad hoc video. If there's noise in the background, you ignore that. That's the Yoshie slave cooking me dinner. Aren't you, Yoshie? Baka in Japanese is idiot. It's the only word she ever calls me. But she's doing well, she's cooking. So, right, so back on with it. Right, if you, Yoshie is not my wife, by the way, in case you're new to my channel. She is the translator stroke business partner. We're at her house at the moment in Japan. Right, if you get a PhD certificate from Oxford or Cambridge, or if you get a PhD from Harvard or Yale, what are the connotations that come along with that? Is it a worthy thing? When you turn up to a job interview and you say, I have this, what happens? Usually what happens is people go, oh my God, that's amazing. You know, you must be absolutely intelligent. You must be the top of your game. You are like the best of the best. Yeah, that is how grades should work. The problem we have in the martial arts community is that doesn't happen. There is no ruling body. There is no sort of system that keeps everyone in check. So I personally think we should abolish all martial arts grades. I honestly think so. I know a lot of people now are like, and you know, like nails in their eyes, like I've worked years for my black belt. Understood. So I'm going to tell you some points first that I do understand. I understand there are people out there who have earned black belts and earned certificates who are worthy of it. I get that. Okay, no problem. I also understand that people need some sort of grade or structure. I get that. However, I want to give you a bit of a different twist now, and I don't want anything to come from this, you know, don't go burning everything, but just have a think about this, right? First of all, the martial arts grade is a modern concept. It's not an ancient concept. The idea of you start at one belt and you go to another one is pretty much a late 19th century, early 20th century invention. Before that, I think in chess you could go back to black belt, you know, but there was no rank belt system. But traditionally in ancient Japan you had what's called the Menkyo Kaiden, which is like, you know, master certificate, if you will, and you started at the bottom and you went through maybe 2 or 3 stages and you became a fully licensed teacher, and that held absolute, like, you know, the PhD certificate. If you're fully licensed, then you knew everything in that school. But the question comes is, did people used to buy them even in ancient Japan? Which is possible, we just don't know. But nowadays, in the world we live in, when I'm 36 and it's now 2014, and when I was a kid, you used to see a black belt, and maybe I'm looking through rose-tinted glasses, but you see a black belt and they were just mean. They were just sharp. I used to attend karate classes of like most people of my generation, and the floor would shake with the stomping bare feet of these black belts who would bang, bang, and things would just be, the building would be shaking, and they were ripped and, you know, muscly. Now black belts are not like that. So you may have noticed that the black belt sort of level has just dropped to an almost, people just randomly wear black belts now and go along. Now I did look back at some old 80s things, and I did know even in the 80s people were posing as black belts and there was lots of frauds. So maybe I'm looking back with rose-tinted glasses, but it just supports this video even more. Should we have a grading system? Now the reason I'm doing this video is because if you are following me, you will know Krista from Budo Ryu. I spoke to Krista on Skype the other day for about 2.5 hours, and she said to me, and I'm sort of like, I'm the project leader of rebuilding an old samurai school called Nato Ryu, and I have absolutely said there are no grades in this. Nobody grades anyone. We don't grade anything, you know, not at least here. There's no need for it. And me and Krista were discussing. Now Krista thinks I should grade, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, no, I still got to stick to my guns here. We shouldn't grade. Now the reason for this is simple. Once you put a grading system in something, you get a deterioration. If you don't have a body that runs the entire thing, like, you know, make sure the standard is the same, it will deteriorate. Now that is impossible nowadays in the world we live in, because we've got people just basically putting black belts on and saying, big fat guys with a black belt just fits around them, and they're sort of swinging their leg at like knee height, and they're black belts. And it's gone ridiculous. It's got to the point where it's just nowhere near what it should be, and it's lost the point of a black belt. And what that means is anybody who's worked for a black belt in the past is now almost made redundant, because there's just like, for every one person who really works, I mean, some really tough guys out there who've got black belts. I mean, like, you know, some of the jiu-jitsu guys, all these guys. There's some really strong, tough guys who are proper black belts. But for every one of them, there's probably 600, 500 of the random black belt guys who just get given grades, and it's gone ridiculous now, guys. In certain situations, certain schools, it's gone for like past 10th dan, and it just gets a bit silly. So my point here is that I think when I was listening to, and we're talking to Krista, and obviously no disrespect to Krista, it was just she started off this thought in my head, is that we got it wrong. We think we have something to. So her point, Krista's point was, Anthony, how can you reward anyone who comes into Natural Ryu after say it's been alive for 10 years, it's been in existence for 10 years, this reconstruction. How can you reward someone who's been there 10 years with you, but somebody comes along, there's no grading system, they're the same status. And then it made me realise is that everybody who's coming into this is looking for status. That's not what you should be looking for. So this is, please Krista, this is no offence to you, I'm just saying that we got this through on Skype and it made me start thinking about it over the next few days. So what we have is we have a system where people are coming into the dojo wanting to be recognised, and you're like, no, that's not what you should be doing. First of all, martial arts is not about that. It should start with you in the shower. So you're in the shower, you look down and you think, do I need to lose weight? Am I overweight? If I'm not overweight, if I'm the right weight, am I, flexible enough? Am I, dinner's done. Am I flexible enough? Am I, have I got enough muscle mass? Have I got enough core strength? So have I got enough core strength? Then, on top of that, am I using my mind the correct way? Am I coming at the world in the correct way? Am I understanding strategy? Am I understanding social communication properly? Then on top of that, you start to say, can I defend myself? Do I have skills to defend? Now this is where most martial arts people stick to. They're like, I've got X amount of skills which helps me defend against the opposition, the enemy, the attacker, whatever you want to say. Those people who want to push it more go on to the more strategy side and they go, do I have a deep understanding of strategy in my life? And do I have a deep understanding of, basically the environment? Anything from camping to hill walking to climbing to castle building to construction to booby traps, whatever you want, that all comes into the martial arts. But most people stick at the running up and down the dojo learning how to fight, because that's the only thing they're ever going to do in their life. Is pretty much, they're never going to build a castle or create traps. They're going to fight someone who attacks them in the street. So the question is are we all coming at martial arts from the wrong direction? When you come to a dojo, are you after recognition? Because in my head, we should bin and burn every single black belt certificate in the world. They're useless to me. It doesn't help you. This was proven when the MMA guys came along in the 90s and went, all these black belts and all these guys who've got some wonderful mystical powers, they just got trounced everywhere. Now, I don't think MMA is the greatest thing on the planet. People forget it's mixed martial arts, but it seems to have become its own martial art now, which is ridiculous because it's mixed martial arts. And now, according to a friend of mine, traditional martial arts are coming back in and actually starting to win MMA. Another matter totally. But my point is this, is that we have to get back to basics, which is, am I fit enough? Am I flexible enough? Do I have the ability to fight someone off in the street? Not do I have the ability to look good in the ring? Do I have the ability to score points? Can I get out of a dangerous situation? That's what martial arts is about. Do I need to attack my enemies? Of course, we shouldn't really be attacking our enemies in today's day and age, but, that's part of martial arts. Somebody's kidnapped your daughter or whatever, you know what I mean? In sort of like this sort of saying, do you have the power to defend your family? Which sometimes may include attack, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to leave it there, guys, because dinner's ready. And I just want to say is, I want to start a discussion. Should we focus so much on black belts and, gradings? For me, what Krista's comment was, how will people recognise their worth against other people who've been there a long way? And I think people should not worry about that and just concentrate on their own worth and their own ability. I'm not trying to get all Zen philosophy on it. I think we're looking at it the wrong way. It shouldn't matter if your person next to you has been trained 10 years. He might come in that dojo and he might be fit as hell. She might be fit as hell. She might be well clever. He might be strategically minded. They may just trounce someone who's been there for 10 years. Or they may be totally useless, and the person who's 10 years there will clearly show their abilities overall. So leave your thoughts down below. I'd like to kick this off into a good internet discussion. Have a think, pass this video around, see what your friends think. I have no answer to this. I'm simply asking the question, should we burn, destroy, get rid of the black belt?